Yes, guys, thank you so much. You guys are fabulous. Yes, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you, darling. Totally enjoy the show. Now, guys, in social media right now, they're talking about Justin Timberlake and J-Lo in a negative way. I think they're trying to bring them down from their fame or whatever and have them be not famous. And I think with people like that say those things, some of the people get more famous when they do that, right? But I mean, in general, I don't think, obviously someone that's famous is gonna eventually not be famous because you can't be famous forever. But I mean, for the most part, I think it's silly to think that J Lo, I mean, maybe she won't be famous. I don't know, but I'm thinking she's gonna be famous for a long time still. But I mean, they have all these things that they're saying, and then they're saying that Justin Timberlake is irrelevant. I don't know. I think with Justin Timberlake, I mean, these people are all not immune to being to not being famous. I mean, they might be not famous, but I mean, they've been famous for so long, and they're young and healthy. I can't see why they wouldn't be, but who knows, right? Anyway, yes, guys, and I think when you see someone that's really famous and people are targeting them and stuff like that, I mean, you would just think they would ignore it. I mean, I can't imagine why Jennifer Lopez would care, but and I know the situation is bad, right? Like they're saying she's basically like trying to say she's from the Bronx and she wasn't from the Bronx and all that, or whatever they're saying, she's pretending to be poor at one point and she never was. But I mean, at some point she was not that rich. I mean, she was never, no one's as rich as a celebrity until they're a celebrity, right? I can't imagine she was like super, super rich. But she must have come from somewhat of a humble background, right? I was dirt poor when I was growing up. Like I had barely anything, right? I had to shop at like stores that had low discount stuff and just really, really never had money for. Even now, I live paycheck to paycheck, right? So I know exactly what that's like. But I mean, if you are someone that's pretending you're from the Bronx, I mean, maybe people are like, well, why are you pretending you're from the Bronx if you're not from the Bronx, right? I mean, why would you pretend, right? But I mean, really, does it matter? I mean, it does matter. Obviously, some people are very poor. They come from the Bronx. They know what being poor is like. And here, someone is saying that they're from the Bronx and they're not. They're not, and they're lying, right? I mean, I'm only saying this because, in my perspective, I grew up poor. I had a hard time, but not everybody grows up that way. I guess to some extent, you're like, why does J Lo have to say she's from the Bronx if she never was, right? I mean, why would you lie about that? You could just say you grew up rich or you grew up somewhat rich. You don't have to say you're poor and dirt poor and that you're struggling if you never were, right? But who knows, right? Anyway, thank you guys. Bye now. What about? Bye now.